Hi, second grade. Welcome back to Reading Time. As you can tell, this week we're talking about informational text, okay? So that it's going to be nonfiction. It's not a story to entertain us, but you know all that. Informational text, it tells us facts about a topic. Of course, here's an anchor chart that you're going to have to look at. It's on page 473, and of course you must do the reading on 472. The informational text story this week is an introducing landforms. Okay, telling you facts about landforms, which we've already talked about landforms this year. But I thought you would enjoy hearing a informational text from me. Eruption, the story of volcanoes. Okay, so as I read you this book, nonfiction book, you're also going to look for what makes this informational text. How is it organized? How did the author organize the story to help you understand the facts more efficiently? Eruption, the story of volcanoes. What looks like a mountain but spits out fire? What shoots clouds of smoke from a hole in its top? What something explodes with a bang? A volcano, and it's starting to erupt. The story of a volcano starts underground. If you jump up and down on the ground, it feels solid and hard. But inside the earth, it is so hot that the rocks melt. The rocks are runny like melted butter. Sometimes the melted rock bursts up through a hole or a crack in the ground. This is how a volcano begins. Do you see clearly that's a fact, proving that we're learning about volcanoes? And the text, they're also giving you another example of what melted rock is. It's showing you a picture of the inside of the earth. Inside a volcano, the melted rock rises, and it becomes hotter and lighter than the rocks around it. The rock that comes out of a volcano is called lava. At first, it is runny and red hot. It cools down in the air and turns into hard black rock. So, of course, it's giving you a real picture of cooled lava. Some volcanoes spurt out fiery fountains of lava. Other volcanoes pour out lava in great rivers of fire. Once the lava starts flowing, nothing can stop it. It can bury whole villages and set trees and houses on fire. Right? So clearly, as you can tell, this book is not entertaining us. It is just giving us facts. That's right, second grade. Volcanoes have different shapes and sizes. Some volcanoes erupt with a bang. Hot rock and ash shoot high into the air. These volcanoes form cone-shaped mountains with steep sides. Other volcanoes erupt quietly. The lava oozes gently out of the top and spreads out all around. These volcanoes are low and wide. So another little fact here that just lets you know the setup of a fact book is different from a storybook. Some volcanoes erupt violently. They blast out clouds of hot ash and dust. The ash is made of tiny pieces of lava. The ash and dust shoot high into the air. Some of it land near the volcano. It covers buildings and fields in thick, dark, gray powder. And if you can see, the people are walking with umbrellas to shield themselves from it. Some ash and dust is blown away by the wind. It can block out the sun and turn day into night. I don't think I'd want to live anywhere near a volcano, not from these facts. At the top of a volcano is a hollow called a crater. It is a hole called, in it is a hole called the vent. Lava, ash, and dust come out of the vent. Some craters are many miles wide. When a volcano stops erupting, the crater is left. Some old craters fill up with water to form huge lakes. Sometimes the crater becomes a dry, grassy plain. So you're hearing some of these words that you're going to hear, plains, in our reading of this week. Okay. When a volcano shoots out lava and ash, we say that it is erupting. We call a volcano that is erupting active. Kilauea in Hawaii is the most active volcano on Earth. It has erupted non-stop since 1983. So we have a definition of what an extinct volcano is. We call a volcano that has stopped erupting extinct. It will probably never erupt again. So, text feature to show you that it is an informational text. We call a volcano that is not erupting dormant. That means it is sleeping, but it could erupt at any time. There is a tiny island in the Caribbean Sea, Mount Sorate. It used to be a beautiful place to live. Then, in 1995, a volcano called Chance Peak started to erupt. It had been dormant for 400 years. Many people had to leave their homes as ash fell everywhere. Some left the island and went to live in another country. It was too dangerous for them to stay. And it's showing you a close-up picture of what volcanic ash looks like. So again, a definition right there, a word with a picture to show you that it's informational text. Mount Vesuvius is a volcano in Italy. In AD 79, Mount Vesuvius erupted violently, blasting hot ash and gas into the air. The ash buried the town of Pompeii, and thousands of people died. Today, people have cleared the ash away. You can walk around the streets of Pompeii and see the Roman ruins. Giving you a sentence up here. It's just showing you the ruins of Pompeii. Another characteristic of informational text. Volcanoes can be useful. On the slopes of volcanoes, the soil is good for growing crops. In some places, blocks of solid lava are used to build roads, bridges, and houses. Precious gold and diamonds are found in some volcanic rocks. Near a volcano, the underground rock gets very hot. The hot rocks heat up water, which turn to steam. Sometimes a giant jet of boiling water and steam bursts up through the ground and into the air. The jet is called a geyser. Old Faithful is a famous geyser in Yellowstone Park, Wyoming. It got its name because it always bursts up once every hour. It's talking about the hot water that comes out of the geysers. It says some people use this hot water to make electricity and to heat their homes. Another fact. There are lots of volcanoes under the sea. You can't see most of them, but some underwater volcanoes are so tall that they poke up from the sea to make islands. In 1963, a volcano erupted under the sea near Iceland. The sea started to smoke and steam. By the next day, the volcano had grown and a brand new island had formed. The local people call it Surtsey, named after an Iceland fire god. Surtsey. Hawaii is a group of more than 100 islands in the Pacific Ocean. The islands are at the top of huge underwater volcanoes. Some of these volcanoes have 2 or more craters, but they erupt very gently. In some places, lava flows into the sea and makes it hiss and steam. Some of the beaches have black sand, which is made from crushed up lava. Can you imagine black sand? That's an interesting fact. Volcanologists are scientists who try to find out how volcanoes work. They want to know when volcanoes are going to erupt. Then people living nearby can be moved to safety. But volcanologists have not found all the answers yet. No one knows when a volcano will erupt until it actually does. So it's showing you an index, so that's another text feature of informational text, and a few more volcano facts. I hope you enjoyed our informational text story, Eruption, the Story of Volcanoes. You will now have to go back into your reading book and make sure you read about the informational text information that's here, talking about facts, and the anchor chart here, and apply what we talked about, finding facts, to learn more about introducing landforms. Bye, second grade.